Between the cracks and receding darkness of this world lies another, living and breathing, always shifting just out of view. It's there that the true terrors that haunt your deepest dreams dwell, and they're watching, waiting, ever vigilant. I'm Thomas Dean Worley, the consulting detective for the Medimaville Police Department, and these are my cases. It's really only a matter of time before all the shit you've done in this miserable life comes back full circle and bites you in the ass. But here in Medimaville, it seems that bite tends to be more fatal than other places. As you'll no doubt observe in these cases that I'm about to share with you, an evil stench exudes from every piece of information that I've collected over these years. And by listening to this, you're listening at your own risk. There's no way to tell who may be watching, and they aren't exactly keen on having their dirty laundry aired to the public. They will find you. It's only a matter of time. Easy, fellas. Let's not get hasty here. I only want to chat. I took another drag of my cigarette before pulling up a chair and sitting myself down at their table. I guess they took the hint because they both holstered their weapons and sat back down.
Yeah? And why should we tell the great Thomas Worley anything, huh? We were almost kicked out of the force because of you.
I was a different person back then, Ramero.
You're still neck deep in a bottle of bourbon. So from where I'm sitting, not much has changed.
Nuri, now. Where is he?
And why the hell should I?
Romero didn't get to finish that last statement. I grabbed him by his tie and slammed his head into the table. A satisfying thud marked the moment his body hit the floor. He was unconscious.
Come on, Tom. You know we can't.
He'll what? Kill you? And what exactly do you think happens if I don't get what I want? Because it doesn't end in you walking away from here. Take a lesson from Ramero. Tell me what I need to know. I shifted forward in my chair, which left Crooks feeling uneasy. He gave a few nervous glances around the bar to make sure nobody else was around, before he leaned in and spoke in a hushed tone.
All right. I'll tell you. But you didn't hear this from me, okay?
Whatever.
Look, Nuri's been hanging around this rundown joint on the corner of Delmont and West First.
Yeah, I know the place. Used to be Carla's Bakery. What's he got you peddling, Crooks?
Some new stuff. He's apparently been cooking it up with the Pixies over in Farside. Strong stuff. I watched him put a full-grown Yeti on its ass after just a few hits. They're calling it Crypt Dust, and it's earned its name all right. That Yeti looked as good as dead.
Crypt Dust, huh? I had heard rumors when Nuri first came to town that he was looking to turn the entire drug ring of Medimaville on its head. Looks like he's finally found the key to do just that. And this idiot right here has no idea what he's gotten himself into. Typical Crooks. He's all about the short-term satisfaction and nothing to do with longevity. I saw the faint flicker of a man in the reflection of a mirror behind Crooks' head. The look on his face confirmed it. I turned around and nobody was there. Damn ghosts. Nuri must have contracted the West First Phantoms to keep an ear out around town. At this rate, it won't be long before Nuri knows. And once he's in the loop, Crooks is a dead man. Shame, really. Well, looks like it's curtain call for you, kid.
Wait! You gotta help me! Tom!
My best guess? You've got about 3 minutes before this place is crawling with phantoms. Romero's dead weight. You'll make it farther on your own. Not that it'll make much of a difference.
Tom! Please! I'm begging you!
Now, I know the kid's not all bad, but I've made it a point not to meddle in phantom affairs. That's one hornet's nest that you don't poke and prod, unless you've got a death wish. Even then, there are better ways to go. Now, I don't know if it was this doe-eyed expression he was giving me, or if I've just gone soft in my age. But I decided to buy him some time. Grab Sleeping Beauty there. Get the hell out of here.
Wait, really?
You've got about 6 seconds before I change my mind. Go, now. Crooks scrambled and picked up Ramero, carrying him from the bar. I heard the door close and I knew they were gone. What the hell have I gotten myself into? Kid owes me one, that's for sure. I walked over to the bar where a surly man stood cleaning off a glass. They make stereotypes for a reason, I guess. Whiskey and Coke. Actually, hold the Coke. The man grunted and poured me a glass, setting it down on the table. No sooner did the liquid touch my lips did I notice the drop in temperature. I took a swig and placed my glass down on the counter. I could see my breath. Phantoms. I turned around to find 7 ghostly figures standing in front of me. A low whisper, like the faint howling of wind, filled the room. Where is Crooks? I turned briefly to grab my drink. Sorry, I don't speak hurricane. Try somewhere else. I downed the rest of my whiskey before slamming the glass onto the bar. In a flash, the ghost speaking flickered and appeared in front of me. He picked me up, threw me over the counter and into the shelves on the other side. With a loud crash and the raining of glass, I was looking up from the floor. As I struggled to get up, I grabbed one of the only intact bottles, popped the top, and took a few large gulps before throwing it towards my aggressor. It went through him and smashed on the ground some feet behind. Not really sure what I expected. Yeah, sorry about that. It slipped. He blinked behind the counter and grabbed me by my collar, lifting me off the ground. He spoke, much more aggressively this time. Where is Crooks? I leaned closer to whisper in his ear. Piss off. Next thing I know, I'm sailing full speed through one of the windows and out into the alleyway. Thank God this dumpster was here to break my fall. I stood up and brushed myself off. 2 ghosts appeared in front of me and shoved me against the bricks. My new friend appeared next. He didn't seem too thrilled. Crooks now. Look, even if I did know, you really think I'd let that slip to Casper the murderous ghost? Nah, I'm good. You may as well kill me. He stared at me for a few seconds with those cold, dead eyes. I couldn't get a read on him. He pulled a knife from his waistcoat, and with a devilish click, it flashed open. Something to remember us by. Pass along the message. He plunged the knife into my lower abdomen, and I felt the searing pain. It was unlike anything I'd ever felt before. And trust me, I've been through hell and back. He pulled the knife out, but there was no wound, no blood, only this searing, phantom pain. They let me go, and I dropped to my knees, clutching the spot where I had been stabbed. They flickered out of sight. I stumbled to my feet, and eventually through the back door of the bar and inside before propping myself up on the counter. My hands trembled as I pulled out the pack of cigarettes from my coat pocket. Crushed. Figures. I looked at the bartender who was back to cleaning his glass on the opposite side of the counter. Must be a regular Wednesday for this guy. I'm gonna need a little something to take the edge off, and, sorry about the mess. He placed the glass on the counter and turned, looking for a bottle. I threw the useless pack of cigarettes onto the bar. A voice came from behind me, the kind of voice that you spend many restless nights trying to forget.
You sure know how to make a mess of things.
Yeah, it's kind of my thing. Who are you? I turned around, the searing pain intensifying as my body twisted and I gripped my side. There stood a man, fancy 3-piece suit, jet black hair, swept back, the lynx. And in his arms, struggling, was Crooks.
I see those phantom lads really did a number on you, Tom. A shame. They only wanted poor Crooks here. You should have left well enough alone.
You can ask Crooks. It's kind of my job to meddle in things that aren't really my business to be meddling in.
Well, I would ask him. But he seems to have lost his voice.
The lynx placed one hand on Crooks's throat, and claws extended from his fingertips. With just the slightest effort, he dug them into his victim's flesh and ripped his throat out. Crooks grasped at the gaping wound, panic in his eyes. He fell to the ground, writhing. It seemed like an eternity, but it was only minutes before he stopped, motionless in a pool of his own blood. The lynx took a large bite of the flesh in his hand before carelessly tossing it away.
Ugh. Dreadful. Besides, Tom, it's you who I'm really looking for.
Just my luck. The psychopath with a blood fetish, and I'm the one he's got his sights set on. I think I need to invest in a hobby or something. I'm getting too old for all of this. Thanks for listening to the Tom Worley Cases podcast. If you like what you hear, then make sure you head on over to our Facebook page and give us a like at facebook.com/The Tom Worley Podcast, or follow us on Twitter at Podcast Worley. This episode was written and produced by Trey Falco. The voices of Tom Worley and the Phantom were Trey Falco. The voice of Ramero was PJ Ellis. The voice of Crooks was Jake Alexander. The voice of the Lynx was Joshua Oglesby. The main theme song for the Tom Worley podcast is Noir by No Copyright Sounds. Other songs used are Just As Soon and Pacewalker by Kevin MacLeod and Missing You by Techno Axe. Noir can be found by visiting the channel No Copyright Sounds for YouTube on YouTube. Just As Soon and Pacewalker can be found by visiting incompetech.com. That's INCOMPETECH.com. Missing You can be found by searching for Techno Axe on Reverb Nation. That's Techno Axe